Welcome in on the campus of North Canton City Schools. TJ Downing here alongside Jim Bostic, John Lowery, and Jamie Fausnight as we get ready for day two. Already underway here. The consolation round has begun. And as we got things rolling yesterday, what an evening we had here. And special shout out to Athletic Director Tom Oakes getting us set up here in the driver's seat. And we've got a lot of wrestling to go on here today as the district tournament here at North Canton City Schools for a chance to be able to go down next week, qualify for the Schottenstein Center. Your shot for the shot down in Columbus next week for the state tournament. And as we get ready to see the consies, then we will have the semifinal round, and then we will go into the blood round. And then ultimately, right around 3 o'clock, we will dip into the finals, and that's where the action will really get intense. But as we know, we can't do these broadcasts without our special partners, so it starts with our friends over at Hilscher-Clarke Electric Company. Make sure to check out their website at www.hilscher-clarke.com. And our friends over at the Eagles FOE 190, their website, eagles190.com. Check out all that they do locally for charities. Over $100,000 a year donated locally. Check out the Jimmy Kiefer Scholarship Fund over on their website at eagles190.com. Jim Bostic will keep you plugged in throughout the day on some of our special sponsors, but on the Stark Media YouTube channel, Wrestling Today also brought to you in part by C.H. Vallos and Associates, McNeill and Sons Tree Service, Lindseys Pizza, finallyhereohio.com, Leathernecks Nation MC, the Sam Center, Save22.vet, and always our friends at Hilscher-Clarke Electric Company and Eagles FOE 190. So we got a special shout out though early for our guy John Lindsay at Lindseys Pizza, who sent us down the breakfast pizza that has been talked about so much throughout some of our wrestling broadcasts. So shout out John Lindsay, man. I'll tell you what, if you get a chance today, if you are looking for something to eat, you're looking for your game day food, you're looking for the post-match food, go to Lindseys Pizza over at the Hillsdale Shopping Center at 2827 Whipple Avenue in Canton. Call them at 330-477-3800 or get on their website at lindseys.pizza.com. They're open until 11. The pizza, chicken subs, salads, calzones, and strombolis are phenomenal. And if you're just getting up and you're just tuning into us on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel, as we've got these consi rounds underway, if you're looking for breakfast, contact Lindseys Pizza and get yourself a breakfast pizza. I'm getting ready to pop up a couple pictures on our social media sites. Remember to go over to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check us out at Stark Media Team. Follow, like, as John says, blast that button. What is it, partner?
Smash that pound button.
Smash that pound button. Smash that Lindseys Pizza. It is phenomenal. So, again, we thank Lindseys Pizza and also our great friends at C.H. Vallos and Associates. These guys have been a staple in this community here in North Canton for over 75 years. If you're looking for insurance, your home, auto, life, and financial service needs, contact C.H. Vallos and Associates at 330-494-2776. They're over at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton, and they are proud sponsors and partners of the Stark Media Team. And obviously, as those guys, Chris and Jimmy Vallis, roam these hallways here at North Canton City Schools, I know they are proud to be a part of what we are bringing you here today. This is exclusive coverage of the Division I District Wrestling Tournament here on the campus of North Canton City Schools. Tune in, stay with us all day long. You can get it on your cell phone, your laptop, put it on your TV. If you got your Roku sticks, whatever you use streaming-wise, pull us up on our YouTube channel. If you're listening now, spread the word. Help this thing grow. And as we get ready to do some, we're going to call it groundbreaking stuff next weekend at the Shot when we partner up with our friends over at the Ohio High School Athletic Association. We've got some great things that are going to be coming down the line that we're going to keep you apprised of as we move through the day, and then also as we get closer into next week and that state tournament next weekend, we will fill you in. All you got to do is go over to our Twitter site, go over to Facebook, go over to Instagram, and check us out at Stark Media Team. Follow, share, like, and smash that button, John, right? Pound it, smash it, whatever you got to do, right, man. And we know that there's going to be some high intensity action. Holy smokes, he's here. He's ready to go. I think, does that mean his son's wrestling down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead.
We got to put the filter on.
Sorry, fellas.
That's the perfect intro to Jamie Fausnight. I mean,
Hey, right out the gate, the little man's up. He's down 3-1 in the second period, about 3 seconds to go. Nice little battle going on.
We at North Canton, and there's only one thing I think about when I'm in North Canton.
I thought it was 2 things, John.
I'm starting to, narrow all my list just to one. That's Jamie Fausnight, man.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
he can't walk more than 2 or 3 steps through this building without somebody grabbing him. And the legendary coaches that we've seen, we saw Don Mancini walk by, and your guy Gilmore, and pretty cool that, the word is starting to spread with this wrestling thing here at Stark Media, that guys are reaching out. Coach Gilmore saying, hey, we want you to come up and check out what we're doing. And if you haven't had a chance while you're over on our Stark Media Team YouTube channel, check out the work that Jim Bostic's been able to do with his In the Room episodes. We just released the 8th one, and it was kind of to be able to show you that we're not just going to do it all here inside of Stark County. We can spread this thing out. We've been up with the Wadsworth Grizzlies and Coach Clay Wenger, and we had a chance to go over there with Coach Dan Rooney, John's old wrestling buddy. Got a chance to check in with Dan Rooney and his phenomenal staff, and over there at Akron St. Vincent St. Mary. And I'll tell you what, heard some good stuff coming out of the Garfield Heights district last night. Ryan Hurley's son, Rylan Hurley, who's just a freshman, had a phenomenal evening last night. This kid is going to be an extraordinary talent. He will without a doubt, and it looks like he'll have Division I offers for baseball. He is a great center fielder. He's been picked as one of the elite 16 baseball players in the state of Ohio, and he's also the #1 ranked freshman wrestler in the state of Ohio. So, you know what? He's got his hands full as we go through this tournament. One of the only guys I believe that beat him this year was our Hilscher-Clarke Electric Company electric performer last night. And that was Boots Van Dyke. Talk about that performance that Boots put out there last night. I know, Jamie, tough for you. I know you're watching your boy over there getting into it, but Boots took on Ducey. And as I heard you guys listening back in, that's probably 2 of the best athletes in this building.
You can't argue that. But it was clear that Boots was in another level yesterday. Everything that Deuce tried, there was a counter to. He's just obviously at another level, and more than it was very easy to decide who the #1 guy of the day was yesterday for the Hilscher-Clarke electric performer. But everything that Ducey tried to do, he had an answer.
Yeah, and you know what? We
got him on his back.
We got a chance to see at the Ironman, Boots was able to win his weight class, and a phenomenal wrestler out of Walsh Jesuit. And John, you spent your time there, and all the great wrestlers that have come out of there. And as I get ready to turn this thing over to Jim Bostic, I would imagine that, Coach Rooney in spirit, all you guys, it's hard for you not to be a little bit of a homer for your home team. Walsh Jesuit, just a strong program. We knew that, that you were excited. They were able to beat the Louisville Leopards the other night in basketball, and just a great lineage of wrestling that has come down there from Coach Barger. And we heard Dan Rooney talk about him the other day, and the program is just stout when it comes to wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, it always has been since Barger, man. He flipped that program around with the old North Akron wrestling program, and that's where guys like the Hurley brothers, Dan himself, all kinds of legends that are out here in this gym today, probably coaching. That's at one point they were in that wrestling room over at North Akron, man.
All right, it's starting to fill in here at North Canton City Schools. We're going to be here all day, all into the afternoon. Consolation round going on right now. You'll have your semifinals coming up after that. You'll have your blood round after that, and then we're going to get right into the finals. So I'm going to turn this thing over to our guy, Jim Bostic, and he's going to carry you through. We appreciate everybody joining us here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. That was from Gary Define Sr. there. He just asked, are we making it rain in here? And you know what? I'm going to say what Prince said at the Super Bowl to the producer when it was pouring down rain. He was playing electric guitar, and they told him it wasn't too safe. He said, can you make it rain more?
Yeah, right on.
Yep.
What is up, gentlemen?
How are you, brother? How are you, brother?
Outstanding, man. Outstanding. Hey, shout out to your son. I was watching there with you.
Yeah.
And
great little battle, man.
You told me, right? Yeah, he's dangerous. You don't know where it's going to come from. And I'm going to tell you, he one, he got it, right? To take that lead. And 2 or 3 times, the pressure, I thought it's coming. Then at the end there, even when the kid put that cradle in, he tried a little suicide roll. Tanner was right there.
2 or 3 takedowns on the out of bounds line.
Exactly.
Get him, I can't be prouder of that
dude,
kid, man.
Big hugs, big shout from Stark Media. Big hugs to Papa Jamie and Tanner. Only a junior, going to be back next year, right, brother? Yeah. We're going to watch him again.
I certainly hope so. That seems to be the plan right now. It was a really hard season for him. I didn't know if I would see him wrestle again next year.
Okay.
Tell you what, I'm gonna dip over and go talk to him.
No,
real quick.
go
I'll be
right
I
ahead.
got some great photos for you too, Jamie. Yeah, I got some good ones during that match.
I'm going to do Josh Lowe and Bornicle together. You okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Johnny Jamie stepped away real quick. He's going to go see Tanner. And I'll tell you what, again, a great morning here at North Canton Hoover High School. And I cannot be more blessed again. Stark Media as two extremely, I believe, important gentlemen, great guys, students of this sport. Boy, again, coming back to join us, day number 2, Mr. Brad Bornable, reporter from the Akron Beacon Journal. And I'll tell you what, I can't be more honored to sit here with Mr. Josh Lowe, wrestling analyst, working with, you told me today, Brad, Matt
Scouts, right?
Matt Scouts.
Right.
All right. Outstanding. Well, gentlemen, thank you for taking time. I know, we talked a little bit yesterday. You said, Jimmy, if we're going to come on, we got to get this done before the semis because, man, we got to rock and roll. So, guys, day 1 in the books. Your thoughts?
I'm telling you, it was great. Pretty much everything went to chalk. There was a couple upsets last night late. Lucas Stiles losing. But these semifinals are going to be fantastic. I mean, these are state caliber matches, I think. Don't you think?
Yes,
Josh?
goes without saying they are. There were a few upsets last night. Nothing truly major where wrestlers that were expected to qualify are now really precluded from qualifying based on the way the cross bracketing works. But there were a few upsets last night. 190 was the weight that turned itself on its head completely, with Stiles and Hartshorn both losing in the top half of the bracket. And then we had a battle of state medalists at 138 where Antonio Shelley from Menor beat Chase Pluhar from Brecksville. Pluhar had beaten Shelley a month ago, but Shelley got him this time around. Those were probably the biggest matches of the night in terms of flipped outcomes of high-end kids. But that being said, the semis and the conference quarters will be big matches, and then those go-tos obviously are really big matches because of the fact that state spots on the line, and you have kids that could win a match in Columbus, possibly not getting out. And you know what they say? If you can win one match in Columbus, you might be able to find your way to win 2. You win 2, you're on the podium.
Well, and we've seen it before where, upsets happen down at state, and a kid that you didn't think was even going to be in the semifinals suddenly finds himself in the finals and he wins the state title.
Yes, or you see what happens, I'm looking more on the backside. You find your way to win one match in Columbus, something happens in the periphery, now you get to a second win all of a sudden.
I was going to ask you a question here. Jackson Joy, Vinny D'Alessandro. That match happened 2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago at the district here.
What do you think about that match? That, to me, that's, that
I think it's going to be close, I think, but I think honestly there's probably one winner in that match, and it's Jackson. It could be close because Vinny and Jackson wrestle so many times together and they know each other so well. But honestly, the likely scenario is there's only one winner in that match.
Outstanding. Guys, I'll tell you what, one match we really focused on yesterday, kind of get your thoughts on that, was Curtis from Perry, Van Dyke from Walsh, quarterfinal. Guys, that could have been a finals match, could it not? I mean, what a match.
At the state duels, it was what, 3-2?
Yeah, I think it was 4-2 at state duels. Curtis got a score late in the first, I think, a takedown, and then Van Dyke rallied back to win the match. But this go around, Van Dyke got the takedown in the first period. He got a takedown plus near falls, I think, in the third, and it was 8-0 this go around. Curtis lost last week to Pluhar. Curtis had the lead going in the third last week and lost to Pluhar last week, which put him in that position to have to face Van Dyke in a quarter.
Wow. Guys, got to go to heavyweight, right? I mean, how often you sit in the gym, top 3 ranked wrestlers in Reese and Faulkner and Andrews, that last spot. I mean, you got all these guys fighting for that last spot. Obviously, something could happen. And right now, the way it looks, it looks like those guys are right there. What do you think about that final spot?
What's crazy about that is Reese. You have him at number 2, right?
Yeah, I have him at number 2.
He's beaten everybody. He's beaten the Jackson kid. He's beaten Roosevelt Andrews. He beat Faulkner at GIT. But
here's the thing, Brad. So I was looking at this before the postseason started. Aaron Reese had 10 matches against Ohio opposition that was decided by 2 points or less.
Right.
I think the data I had was either 1 point in regulation or overtime or the tiebreaker. There were 10 matches he had this season against Ohio opposition that he won that were decided by 2 points or less or in overtime, and that doesn't even count the match. That doesn't even count the loss to Todd Allen.
Well, and he beat Todd Allen at Maumee in overtime.
But that was in overtime.
Right. But to your point, his quarterfinals match was 1-0 too. So, I mean, heavyweight's wide open. I still think it's Faulkner all the way. The kid's got experience. He's a 3 or 4 time Fargo All-American. I mean, I think this is Faulkner's to lose, but weird things happen.
Yeah, and I think and the thing, and Reese and Andrews is meet a semi this afternoon, and Reese Andrews was 1-1 going in overtime at the Suburban League meet.
Right, for sure.
And remember when Reese and Arnold met here at North Canton, I think it was either here at North Canton or Maumee Bay, there was 1-0 on a right out in one of the choice periods that Reese got the 1 point win there.
So how about this? So we're talking the state race, right? Perrysburg versus St. Ed's.
Right.
Adam Butler lost last night. So if Perrysburg is smart, because Blaze is going to win state.
Right.
Forfeit that match, drop down to Butler. You can knock out a 20-point kid for Eds this week. We'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to do it. But, if you're thinking state title, why not drop Blaze down, knock out one of the Eds kids?
I think that might set off World War III.
For sure.
I think
For
Josh
sure.
is right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined here again, 2 of the best. Brad Bourneville from the Akron Beacon Journal, Josh Lowe from Matt Scouts. These guys have seen so much wrestling. Josh, just through the years, his analysis, his reports he's given to all of us, just again, top shelf. Guys, we got to talk about something historic this year, right? The sanctioning of the women's division. Right or wrong, I know there's a lot of opinions on that out there. We all have our own, but it is what it is. It is where we are at in our state, obviously out west. The women's wrestling has been around for quite a while. We did an in-the-room session with Art Kali. Art, of course, coming from the Oregon states that he's, dealt with that for many years. Just your thoughts as we prepare next week, in the shot and our women's division.
What I like about it is the atmosphere should be incredible next weekend with the extra fans.
More moms and dads, more friends, more peers in the arena.
The one thing that I think is going to be a one and done for them is not having the stage, because the stage won't be lifted this year because there's not enough time. But I guarantee you that'll change because you're going to get some.
You know what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm skeptical. I don't know if that's going to change or not, because the problem is there's a cost aspect
and a time aspect.
And there's a big time aspect. Unless they can find a way to shrink time, the only way they're going to be able to get that stage back is if they shrink time somewhere, because that stage takes because we've been around when we go out to eat after the Sunday morning session, we come back, they're barely finishing that stage, and I think the fact that they don't do the stage, they may be able to even bump up the finals time another 30 minutes.
Right, but I think the easiest way to do it is start an hour earlier. I mean, you're already starting at 9. What's the difference between 8 and 9?
Right.
Yeah, you're already at 9. I think it's 9:30 this year. So,
right.
But I'm just saying that's the thing is you can start earlier. That's the problem. Is how much earlier can you start?
I'll be interested to see the logistics of it all.
Well, and I don't know, Brad. Well, as you know, we also work with Wrestling One, right? Chris Kali and his team, of course, putting the clocks and computers down again, year 2 for them at the state. Now, I had heard, again, you guys are a little bit more in the know than I am, that the the stage was off. But then at the D3 regions last week up at Case, he had said that those were possibly coming back, that they had agreed to bring it back. So I don't know. You guys probably know better than I.
I'm skeptical because of the time, because they're only starting 30 minutes earlier. I don't think they're going to be able to make up that time to do the stage and maintain the time. If they do the stage, it'll be really tight.
Okay.
That's the problem. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think I don't want to say they should get away from the stage, but I think that's the direction I would go, because what you'd be able to do then is possibly even bump the finals up further, which, given that you're on Sunday night, people want to get home.
Understood. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see with that. But again, and now another first, I think that I've heard that we're going to have that stage raised or down, however that plays. We're going to have live broadcast at each mat this year. So for the finals only, from what I understand, they're going to have a broadcaster at that divisional mat to broadcast the play-by-play. So that's something new. No,
that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Anything to grow the sport is fantastic to me. And I mean, you get TV now. Now you're bringing in, maybe there's somebody 3 hours away that can't make it. Maybe grandma's in Florida and she wants to watch. Now she has a chance to watch it. Like I said, anything in the world that we can do to keep this sport going forward, I'm all for.
Yeah, as opposed to they used to have the box casts that just had the video for the finals with Spectrum 1. So you're saying now they're going to have a broadcaster with the box cast as opposed to just the video.
Correct. Yep. So
that'd be certainly good for grandma and grandpa out of town.
Right, absolutely. Josh, how long does it take you to put that rankings together? I need to know this. Because my guy, I've seen the spreadsheets you have. If he printed them out, guys, it would probably take up an entire living room.
If you're looking at the write-ups, oh God, I couldn't. You're talking. I don't want. 50 hours maybe to do that report.
Oh,
that's
Josh.
my guess.
Wow.
And then that's in addition to the, I'd say 40, 50 hours. That's my guess. Maybe 30, but it's over 30. Let's put it that way. In addition to the mental processing during the season with the spreadsheet, the data churn to put the productivity, put my results charts together, then reconciling. And the biggest part is the chart and writing it is that's the toughest part, is because that takes a long, it just goes.
Guys, he's got a 40-hour-a-week job, and he goes to a wrestling tournament once a week, and at least once, maybe twice, and he's a referee for soccer, and you're an umpire for baseball,
too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I don't know when the guy sleeps, so when he's putting this thing together, it's got to be at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, and I think you shared with me, Brad, 2013 Media Service Award winner, Mr. Josh Lowe. I'll tell you what, from what you do, Josh, it's well-deserved, and we just can't thank you enough.
Brad won it before me. Was it 10 or 11?
I think it was 2010.
Wow.
And then Jim Thomas won it the year before me in 2013.
Yep, old Canton rep guy.
He retired Jim Thomas.
I love it.
Shout out to Zeb Miller. He's winning it this year from Go Ohio Cast.
Yeah.
He's
wait a minute. You allowed to drop that? Dude, that's a Stark Media exclusive.
It's Zeb Miller, guys. I mean, if you're talking about goats, I'm sitting next to one.
Oh,
I'm sitting next to two.
No. I'm sitting next to two, Brad.
And then we got Zeb next week, so it's going to be fantastic.
Outstanding. Well, guys, I know you're going to get ready for the semifinals. You both told me, listen, if we're going to say anything, Josh hit me yesterday. He goes, Jimmy, if we're coming on, I want it before the semis during that first Consi, because I know you guys really get yourself together. We're going to see you next week down at the state tournament, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I know Stark Media. I think we're going to be down there. We've got the green light to do a little bit down there. Hopefully we can get you guys back on, get your thoughts from around the state, what we're preparing for. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. Two legends right here, guys that put so much into our sport. We cannot say enough. Mr. Josh Lowe of Mat Scouts, Mr. Brad Bornable of the Akron Beacon Journal. Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much.
Always good to see you, Jim.
Always good to see you, Jim.
All right, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Steve. That was good.
All right, I am back. I survived. You know what helped me
The
survive?
Pope, dude. All right, here the Pope is back, and the boss is
man.
putting the gear on. I'm
We're
excited.
in trouble now,
This is
man.
not his football helmet, ladies and gentlemen. He is putting the ears on. Guys, how exciting was that? Stark Media sitting here. Brad Bornable, of course, he was on yesterday with us from the Akron Beacon Journal. But to have Josh Lowe, man.
Oh, man. Lowe's
Huh?
big time, bro.
Dude.
Yeah, that's one of the best playing dealers.
Boss, that's a big one there, brother.
Riders in the biz.
You know what? I just had to come back here and check in on you guys because everything I heard after I left yesterday was, I hope TJ's not listening. I hope TJ's not listening. And so the official advertisement for the chest pains, we reached out to Bayer, and Bayer, they are going to sponsor us. So if you or anyone you know has chest pains after hearing somebody say something not so polite about their boss,
oh my!
Go ahead and take a couple Bayer.
Well, I asked Johnny if you had any nitro with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the text flying. I heard the chest pains were out.
When my grandfather passed away, I kept that little tiny bottle just in case for moments like this when we started Stark Media Wrestling. So I got it in my little tiny pocket right here.
Moments, and Tej, here, and of course, you and JP given this opportunity to first the wrestling community, but then the three knuckleheads, myself, John Lowery, Jamie Fausnight, allowing us to have this, opportunity. Just when I know that Tim Arnold brought the concept to you, and then you and JP, can you tell us a little bit of the background, maybe some of the talk you and JP had as you were kind of thinking about launching the wrestling side, if you will?
Well, and I don't want to just solely tie it into wrestling as an individual sport. When JP and I put the idea together just a little bit over a year ago, it was following the 2021 high school football season. We said, all the coverage that you really get around the area and really throughout the state of Ohio and throughout the country, when you look at major universities, what are your top two money producing sports? It's football and basketball. So your main coverage from high school, collegiate to the pros, it's basketball and it's football. And the premise and the mission statement behind Stark Media was to make sure that we were getting out and we were covering other sports, these phenomenal student athletes that we have, not only in Stark County, but in Northeast Ohio and the great state of Ohio for that fact. The lacrosse, the wrestling, the softball and the baseball, the
swimming,
track and field, the swimming and diving. How about a shout out, to the Hoover and Jackson programs and what they've done, just dominating through swimming. And, for us around here locally too, you were just talking, Jim, you're up there in Akron. You're right there at Canal Park. The baseball and softball state championships are right in our backyard in Akron. Swimming and diving right down the street here at CT Brandon Natatorium. We've got this great district tournament here that North Canton City Schools is putting on. And as Jamie and I talked yesterday, it's 224 of the elite, best of the best in Northeast Ohio squaring off here. So for us, the mission statement, the drive has always been to do more than just the norm of what your media coverage outlets around the area have done, which is football and basketball. We want to bring you wrestling. We want to bring you all the other sports. We want to bring you the golf. We had a chance last spring. We got into lacrosse and tons and tons of great lacrosse in our backyard here. Now, we'll tell you that it's not a Federal League sport because not every Federal League school has it.
Right.
But if you look at what Coach Gregory does here for North Canton, you look at what his offspring has done. One of our own, Mark Milano, his offspring, Matt Milano, a player for Coach Gregory. He was the Suburban League lacrosse coach of the year last year at Wadsworth.
Wow.
Think who they have to battle against. Hudson, who is in the Final Four almost every year, battling it out for a state championship with the likes of Upper Arlington and St. Ignatius for a lacrosse state championship. So Hudson has had a stranglehold on that Suburban League, like a Perry Wrestling has had a stranglehold on Federal League.
Right.
So for us to be able to sit here and look at what the Jackson does at Jackson Hoover last year, the lacrosse match, unbelievable. The ending, if you didn't see it, you can go and check it out. You're gonna have to dig back on our Twitter feed and Facebook. But Drew Logan snaps off a shot to win it at the last second, and freaking Robert Fife Stadium goes nuts. You know, it wasn't the outcome that the purple and gold wanted, but you know, it's just the other sports that we have in this area. We knew we had to shine a light on it. With streaming platforms being what they are nowadays, it gives us the opportunity to get it out there to the masses and show people, hey, listen, I always hear you guys say this, our sport, and I heard you guys close it out, the greatest sport yesterday, right? People haven't gotten a chance to see it like they're getting a chance to see it with you guys. The commentary, the audio, visual, just it's different. And for us, it's been exciting, JP and myself, to see how it's taken off, because literally I'm looking at my watch here, like 8-9 weeks ago, we just sat down in the office and like, hey, Tim Arnold comes in, our guy Brad Scarborough, Jason Atkins, you, all of us kind of just got together, threw the idea around. Let's see if it sticks. Well, hell,
that meeting was 2 weeks before the start of the season.
Yeah,
I'll never forget. I mean, that'll be something in my heart, my memories forever.
And we've been able to do 8 in the room episodes with you, Jim, and highlight some of the great programs. We've hit Minerva. Shout out to them. I know that. I believe looking here through Twitter, I know that Caden Haynes he won yesterday. Coach Hilliard said some of their lower weights didn't do like he expected them to do in the district tournament in the first day. Yeah, but Caden Haynes, a stud, he handled his business.
He's tough,
Norris, I believe, handled his business. Some of his lower weights didn't get it done like he wanted to, so they're going to be wrestling early today. That's the Steubenville district.
Right.
So
Louisville, right? We were out at Louisville in the room with the Leopards, man. Coach Coleman out there.
Talking with who's probably going to be a front runner for another state champion, Dom Hoffer. Yeah. I mean, you know, getting some absolute, as you guys call them, hammers. I mean, these are some of the best of the best. And as you guys commentated that match yesterday, between our Hilscher-Clarke electric performer, Boots, and a guy, Ducey, that you got a chance to interview there. I mean, we knew, you and I left there talking like, hey, this is a guy that, you know, I think, what was he maybe 6 or 8? Did he placed last year.
I believe place was 6 or 8 last year.
You know, but the expectations are high, man. But
the Walsh kid.
And that was a quarterfinals match, guys. Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, how about quarterfinals? Batson and Dolph?
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what Ohio wrestling brings to the table, man.
Yeah.
You know, welcome to Ohio wrestling.
You know, and listen, everybody's already talking. I'm getting ready. I'm going to turn the headset over here to Jamie in just a bit because I'm going to start getting some video, posting some stuff out there. But everybody around the area is talking right now. Hayden Faulkner and Colton Arnold. It's must-see TV. They want to see it here in the semifinals round because
crosstown show.
You know, as we know, there was a forfeit when they had the duel. That was 2 weeks ago, and there were some comments out there that said, "Hey, we're going to see him in 2 weeks." Well, you know what? 2 weeks is here. It's here,
right?
You know, and that's exciting. That's the type of stuff. Even though I wasn't a wrestler, that's the type of stuff that the hair stands up on the back of my neck. Because when I relate it to football, it was always when you're working out, when you're competing, it's with that goal in mind that, you know, let's say in 180 days, we're going to line up and we're going to do this thing for real.
Yes.
You know, the talking is going to be over. We're going to be in there one-on-one. Mama can't help you. Daddy can't help you. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
You know, the lights are on. You know, and the we'll call it the eye in the sky don't lie here. The camera's going to be on you. You know, it's how you respond in that moment.
Right.
You know, so I'm really interested to see how this shakes out. And hell, over on the other end, you got Reese and Roosevelt.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
How does it get better?
You guys were talking about Roosevelt's size yesterday.
Yeah.
Is he massive or what?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I mean, as massive as he is, put him up next to Faulkner. Right? I mean,
that,
you know.
That one kid was bigger than him from Lake in that weight class.
Oh, Miller.
Yeah. Miller. That weight class is just, you know what? Huge. Just stacked even. Like, there's names in that weight class we didn't even hear of yet until last night. And we're like, dang, this kid's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that weight class is just loaded.
Yeah, and that's always the interesting thing for me with Faulkner is that, you know, he's a very lean heavyweight.
Yes.
He's fast. And as I watched it with my buddy John last night, we were watching, we were listening to you guys, and I was explaining it to him, you know. He took that kid that was about all of 280, 285, scooped him up and dumped him.
He jolly dropped him.
And finished him. I'm thinking, my buddy's like, well, he's like a 260, 265 guy, but you're pretty damn strong to be able to do that.
Right.
So Faulkner's a guy that, he can move around well, but he's strong as an ox.
Well,
I mean, that's probably why he's the number 1 ranked heavyweight in the state of Ohio.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, here's what's exciting. Reese and Faulkner, both juniors. They come back next year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
wash and repeat. Yeah.
And for that fact, does Faulkner look to maybe go somewhere else other than Central Michigan? Nothing against Central Michigan's program.
Oh yeah.
But if you're doing what you do, you maybe win a state title this year and come back and do it again next year. Do you have the Iowas and the Penn States of the world come knocking?
Somebody, you got to think.
At that point, I'm decommitting and I'm going that route.
Yeah,
right.
You got to.
You can do that easier now. So I would
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know tonight, TJ, very exciting for you, right? Your lovely daughter Rosie here. Shout out to her. I love to see Rosie. Dad-daughter dance tonight, right?
Daddy-daughter dance. And
that's
the other thing that's special for me because I've been able to bring my daughter out to some of the events, and we had the duel that we did over at Jackson when Jim, you were doing the PA announcements, and had that great Jackson Hoover duel.
Yep.
My daughter's over there in the corner. She's cheering on the guy. She's giving Tanner Fozzie a little dap right before he gets out there. So to be able to bring my daughter Rosie out here and have her, as she's starting to get the age now where she's in preschool, and we'll start to figure out what sports she's into. She's heavy into swimming now, and
tennis too. I think she said
tennis. She loves wrestling, man. She loves coming out here and seeing the competitors. She likes purple, so she's naturally just cheering for Jackson.
All right, that's my girl.
Me and Jim will coach her.
I won't say that too loud here in this gymnasium.
Yeah, be careful, team.
I want to make it out here.
I already got yelled at because I had the purple haze on. Jimmy Hendrix.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife for cleaning up that jacket for you.
Man,
outstanding.
Exactly.
Shout out to our other sponsor, Spray and Wash.
Spray and Wash. Absolutely. Well, and that's folks. I'll tell you what. That is the foundation of Stark Media, family centered, team centered. TJ, JP putting together a great. Again, as John and I always say, right, taking broadcasting to the next level.
100%.
And we could not be more blessed.
Can I mention something?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. I
just heard and witnessed. It was the guy Frank who was just out here wrestling. I want to say he was a Medina guy, but I just witnessed what I want to call the greatest wrestling mom ever. She's right over top of Jim's head.
Yeah.
Doing the video, and she's yelling, Frankie,
that was Palmisano.
Reshoot.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, because I've always heard,
that's a Mayfield kid,
exactly. And I'm looking back here, I'm like, she's number one wrestling mom.
Yeah.
And everybody's always told me the wrestling moms are crazy. They're into it. And I just got that experience, man.
Right.
She's barking at her. We saw that up there at Case Western. Yeah. How about when the two heavyweights were going at it? And the guy from Wabash had the other guy down there pretty tight. And he was the number 2 heavyweight in the country.
1 and 2 right now.
And his mom was mat side.
She was
barking at him on all fours.
Yeah.
Get up, move.
Like a pit bull, man.
And I'm like, wow, man, it was intense. It was pretty cool, though,
That makes these gyms more intense when you hear that. Well, and then I was a few seats down, and the other kids' parents were over here behind me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they would respond like she said, he's tired because he's tired. He's more.
So let's dive into a little wrestling here real quick, because I was telling my friend last night about the heavyweight, the number 1 heavyweight in the country in Division III from Wabash. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but the dude is an absolute physical specimen.
Yeah.
Now,
man. Kid was
I've asked you guys this before at times, but really a little bit more clarification. I mean, that guy was all of 6'6", 6'7", built like a house. Does it benefit you having longer limbs? Is it harder for lightweights that are maybe built like a beanpole that have long limbs? I believe, who was the guy? Was it Landon Johnson over there at Perry? Kind of built that way.
Yep. Tall,
does it
lanky.
Make it more difficult for you? Is there a one shape of a wrestler at a lightweight or a heavyweight that's better, like a Reese who's more compact and squatty?
I think so. I think look at you talked about like Faulkner. He kind of reminds me of like a Cal Schneider. He was an Ohio State wrestler that was legend. And he wasn't the biggest guy in the weight class, but he was short, he was stocky, he had a lower center of gravity. I think that can come to play, especially with more on your feet kind of action. Now, that's where I kind of flip-flop though on this, because then it's those lanky kids, the lean, toned out, kid that's tall, has the long arms, long legs, that they'll get you on the mat, man, and they can scramble ways that no coach has showed you how to out-scramble.
Well, and as you guys know, right, I'm a little vertically challenged myself here, so obviously I was one of those more short, squatty, thick guys. And I'm going to tell you, you wrestle those tall, lanky guys, 2 things that was just really something I remember is their muscle structures. They got the leverage, all kinds of leverage and length, right? I mean, with the arms and legs, they throw legs in, they've got hip leverage. They put the half Nelsons in. They've got great length in that arm, creating leverage. But the other thing, too, is that, as far as conditioning goes, those guys seem like they could go forever, right?
Yeah.
Because, and I had a wrestler years back, great young man, Eddie Newberry. Eddie just built like, Ducey, like Boots, one of those kind of guys. And I'll tell you what, if Eddie got through the first period and didn't pin you, end of period 2 and 3, he was gassed, right? Because he had so much muscle, and the muscle is eating that oxygen that if he doesn't put in that extra conditioning, his conditioning levels would it would go from 100 to 0 now because the body was eating the oxygen. Those tall, lanky guys, not that they didn't condition, they did like everybody else, but it just seemed like they had a little bit, more in the tank every once in a while. But that's the beauty of the sport, though, right, guys? Tall, lanky, short, stocky, there's something here for you.
That's right. Yeah, anybody can have a good approach to it, regardless of their shape or size. It's the idea too. Jim was talking about, it's that the long twitch muscle versus the short twitch. You said those lanky guys can go to distance. Well, look at your distance kind of people.
I'm drawing a blank on who said it. One of the guys you had on interviewing. Hey, I know you gave my guy Jason Blackiston a shout out the other day. Coach Blackiston got a Camp McKinley Bulldog out here on the mat right now, but. Yeah, his son Zach, I know, was even maybe trying to make a push to get into the XFL. Was in the XFL camps that they're doing. I know it's underway now, but
that dude should go into the WWE, bro. He's a character.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Set the all-time sack record in Heidelberg. And for me, though, one of the interviews you guys did, one of the coaches said, "Listen, anybody can wrestle. It's just really how hard you're willing to work at it."
Right.
And he said the people that may not have thought they could wrestle, they come out and they put in the hard work, and all of a sudden it's like it's in their veins, it's in their blood, and it becomes you, and
it becomes
and
a
that's
lifestyle.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But also, as you guys have talked about the different styles, right? Colton's more of a guy that wants to go for a pin.
Right.
And Faulkner's really not like that. He wants to kind of beat you up for 3 rounds and take you the distance and work you and kind of gas you, where he's going to be still in pretty good physical condition or cardio condition by the third period.
Right.
And then just kind of wear you down there. And it looked like he just did the complete opposite when I saw him wrestle the first time yesterday. He scoops that guy up, he drops him, and he pins him within 45 seconds. So I'm really interested, man. I'm looking at the bracket here. They're saying like maybe around 12:55 is when this could go down, where you're going to have the 4 top heavyweights. How that match is going to shake out.
Yep.
I believe it was at Maumee.
Yes.
That Reese and Colton Arnold squared off. And it was, I think, the first time Colton has gone into the third round this year.
Third period.
And it ended up being a 1-0.
You said 1-0.
Victory.
Yeah.
So how that goes.
It's going to be exciting. Whatever happens, to be here to witness it, you know what? It's what it's all about. So,
all right, guys, I'm gonna turn it over to the guy here, man.
Love you, man. You did great.
Good stuff, Tanner. Yep. Nothing but love for that kid right there and his dad, man. Does a little job for us. So I'm gonna turn the headset over to my guy, Jamie Fausnight.
Oh,
how you doing, Pops? I know you had to do some
quite emotional right there.
I gotta say, I have to do some pop duties.
Couldn't be more proud of that dude, man. He did amazing. We're so lucky that he's here and he competed at a high level.
Yep.
Goodness.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Glad to see that. Shout out to Tanner Fausnight, man.
Yep.
What a great guy, great kid.
Well, and this is the round, right? That some of the tears start to flow.
Because, this is where the hallways are super emotional from here on out.
Yeah.
We did 2 rounds of championship last night, so nobody got eliminated. Those talks yesterday were all about put that one behind you, 1 match at a time, all that stuff in the hallways. It was pumping tires. This is when you're pumping tires, right? And then all of a sudden, somebody's tires are just bigger. And then you get to that spot and then those conversations in the hallway are like the conversation I just had with my son, you proved it. Excuse me. You proved that you belong. You proved that you can compete at this level, my son to me is an inspiration. He had 1 win this year and he qualified. He pinned, took 2 ranked kids to overtime at sectionals. He pinned one of them, for a kid that had such a frustrating season to end up here. And really he was close to winning that match. And he saw the rest of his bracket. He's like, I had winnable matches from here on out, and next thing you know, I was in the Consi semis, and I'm like, you now you see it. Once the kids start to see it, then they start to believe it. And he's just
key.
one of a million. There's lots of kids all over this state at district wrestling tournaments that are living that same life. Once they really see it and believe it, then those dreams really happen. It takes so much for them to finally believe that they belong.
Now, and right, and the key word I think you said there, Jamie, believe. You got to believe. This sport, as much as all of us, technique-wise, we all have pretty similar technique. We all of us, physically conditioned, but it's the mental side of things that really I think, especially at this point, make a big difference. Are you mentally prepared, mentally ready?
Right. And I mean, it's such a task to have your kids ready at this point. There's so many peaks and valleys throughout the course of a season. The real art is to make sure that, they understand that nothing before this really matters. It doesn't matter if you were a Medina champ or if you lost in the Consi semis to place or at Medina or Top Gun or Ironman or any of it. None of it. You are remembered from how this tournament goes and how you carry yourself next week if you get the opportunity to compete down there.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching round one of the Consolation the Consolation rounds. Again, a double elimination tournament. Losers here prepare for next year if they're back, if they're seniors, of course. Reflect back on some outstanding, great memories, become part of a brotherhood that the three of us just are so blessed to be a part of.
Absolutely.
And, can't be more happy to have some more.
Speaking of brotherhood,
right
here, little Mat 2 action. That's Cam Carter from Walsh Judgewood representing. He's winning right now 9-1 over Tevin Turner, senior. So Carter's just a sophomore from Walsh Judgewood.
I snuck over to the auxiliary gym. Alex Bostic knocked off a Walsh kid just now over there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So he's got a hammer. He's got the Dover kid who that is really good, who's beaten him multiple times this year. So that'll be a good one.
I remember that kid.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
he wrestled him last week or 2 weeks ago or so. He wrestled him at sectionals. We wrestled him like the week before.
We
covered him. Yeah, he is good.
That's cool. Yeah. Hey, shout out to Bosky, man. It's one of my favorite North Canton wrestlers. Yeah.
Had multiple Petersons. Yeah, he was.
It's just always exciting, man. It's like a suspense novel.
Yeah.
Now, James, as we get in here, finish round one, are we going to run a second round of Consi before our semis? Is that the plan here today?
Yeah, they'll start a semi round or a Consi round on all formats until probably 11.
Okay.
And then they'll put the semis on these mats here at 10 o'clock. I think they're doing skin checks for all the guys in the semifinals.
Oh, cool.
So
got it.
We should be close here.
No, these first round guys, they will feed into the loser of the quarterfinal match. And again, we talked about some of those quarterfinal matches, right? And again, you hate to keep bringing it back up, guys, but I keep thinking of the old Boots Ducey match and what we saw there. I mean, again, I know we're beating a dead horse to some degree, but what a match.
I'm telling you, Ducey is no slouch coming through the Consies, man. Everybody in that weight class that was at that end of the bracket in the Consies is sitting there watching that match like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like, whoever loses that match is going to be a hammer coming through.
The thing about that, what I love most is Ohio wrestling, man. That's how tough we are. We got kids at that level being up in the second match on our district tournament.
I'll tell you this. Here's my thing. When you talk about where Ohio is with everywhere else, all states, their top tier guys are pretty close to the same. The state champs all over are pretty close to the same. Then when you talk depth, when you talk about a fifth place state placer from Ohio compared to a fifth place state placer in Tennessee or Alabama or where, the depth is just different here. Our JV kids are crazy good. You see some, you go out to like Arizona, and I have followed some Arizona wrestling this year because a couple of kids have moved out there, and I still watch their parents post them on Facebook. Shout out to the Bamba family out there. Both girls were state runner-ups this year for the Bombas. You remember the Bombas, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Both girls were state runner-ups this year.
No kidding.
Yeah, the older one was the senior this year.
Really?
Yeah.
She's graduating.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're getting old, James.
I know. I know. I prefer seasoned and battle tested.
Well,
more
fine
so
wine.
Than being old,
We can get a little fine wine.
I don't know
right?
if fine wine describes me that well, but I prefer seasoned and battle tested.
Rustic barreled.
There you go.
All right, now. Little...
like a well-aged bourbon.
There you go. I like that. We better stop because I see the Pope's wheels turning here.
I know.
It's hard telling where this could go. So
I was just gonna say I would love to now recite you to one of my favorite poems.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
No, we're not going hickory dickory dock. All right, just please.
I
know that one too. Now let's turn up the clock.
Yeah. So this is super exciting. I remember, I don't claim to have a lot of wrestling accolades as a wrestler. I'll never forget my senior year. Districts. I got here, nice and early. I was all ready. I'm warming up on the mat. I looked up at the catwalk at Perry High School, and there was my head football coach standing up there, Ed Glass.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I went up there.
Glass, yeah.
I went up there. I stood next to him, and I'm like, "Hey, coach," and he's like, "Well, you got a big day ahead of you. You got to win 5 in a row, because we had to take third."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, that's what I'm here to do, coach." And he's like, "Well, your first kid is, I don't want to say what school, but he's like, you should be able to go out and pin that dude, get the heck off the mat, and take care of business." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." And then next thing you know, first round of Consies, I look at the clock in the third period, and I'm down 2. I was in a war. I ended up winning that one and then winning all 5 to get there. But back then, when, you come in here, you know what you're walking into. It's a tall task. You had boys that did the same thing.
Absolutely.
But it's about the mental toughness and your preparation, whether you're ready or not. And like even my son, you get a hold of that kid. Oh, that's illegal. That's illegal.
Ooh.
That's a modified Willie roll right there. If we're going to talk,
Yeah.
That came up with the Jackson duel.
I missed it.
When you
called
have
by the official.
when you have the underhook and you lock it here, it's illegal. There's no
yeah,
harm
like
in that.
I remember that. That's, he used to do that. Jamar Billman from Easton, Pennsylvania. He did it to Marchetti.
But this is just such an exciting tournament. Like we said before, there's 14 weight classes. That's 28 consecutive semi matches. 2 per weight class, and then they drop directly down into the Consi semi. So you're talking 28, 20, 56 consecutive matches where winner goes. Right. I'll tell you, to me, there isn't anything more intense in any sport in the world than being here for the semis and the Consi semis back-to-back rounds.
Oh, it's amazing to even be here alone. But yeah, for that, it's going to be really intense.
Yeah,
this gym will be rocking.
The gym's going to go crazy.
Yeah. It's going to be rocking.
Shout out to my people in Solon over here. I think they're the best fan club over
here. Yeah.
The Hilscher-Clarke best fan group.
Okay.
Fan club. The fan club.
Oh man,
they were cheering for us. What's his name?
Miles or from Solon.
Solon. They're Solon people.
Yeah. That was.
I actually went over and told him, "You guys are the best fan club in the group." And I said, "My son needed you. He was 2 points away. If he had you guys cheering for him, he might have got it. He might have pulled it off."
Oh, I love it. Well, next year we'll have to remember that, right?
Right.
They were cheering. There was a blood time. And they're
awesome. They're awesome. But that's what it's all about. Everybody's amped. Everybody's excited. We talked yesterday about the parents and the coaches. They don't have that release. They're losing their mind here.
Right.
The kids can at least warm up and they can get a drill in and they can calm themselves down. Everybody else has zero control of what happens except for the kids.
Yeah. That's everybody's going to find their own destiny today.
Absolutely.
Let's get that ultimate almighty goal trip down to Columbus for the state tournament, which we're covering next week. Stark Media.
I'll tell you what, guys, too, I'm sure if you talk to some of the coaches, they might have a little different opinion than what I'm going to share with you now. But I think overall, the match that we've been able to watch, the refereeing, been very, very impressed with our refs.
Absolutely.
I think they've done a nice job. Again, refereeing is an area in all of our sports, not just wrestling. All of our sports, we definitely need some help. If you're out there thinking about jumping back in either to our sport that we love so much or any other sport, check on the OSHAA website, how to become a referee. We need you. I'll tell you what, it's
such a great way to give back to the sport that you love.
Exactly.
When you can't, when your job can't allow you to get to practice every day, things like that, you can still be a part of it. You can still impact the sport. And I'll tell you what, the referees are such an amazing fraternity of, we hung out, we had a couple drinks with them last night. They're such a good group of guys,
And again, looking across that table last night, I know a couple, Gino Capone, I've heard that this could be his last year. I've heard a couple guys are talking about really hanging the boots. I mean, maybe it won't happen. It's just things that are out there. But they are an older crew, right? And we need some young cats. We do.
Yeah, there are a couple of young ones that are here. It's exciting to see those guys. And they're refereeing at a high level.
This Walsh wrestler, tall, lanky kid, just scooped up that cradle on the mat like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That short twitch muscle from his opponent, man, just wasn't helping him out. And
Got to settle back a little bit.
That looks tight.
Yeah, that's both scapulas.
Yeah, he looks suspended.
That's a pin, man. Jeez Louise.
That must have been, we just couldn't see. There must have been just a little bit from that singlet in the ground.
That was Bruce Almighty Basker from Walsh Jesuit, 175 pound
75 is where we're at. Boy, this day's gonna go, man. It's gonna go
already
fast.
Yeah.
This round's they're buzzing through this round.
I just gonna say I'm looking up at the big board, guys. Mat number 2, round 2 of the Consolation's about to go to the mat. Mr. Demos from Maslin Jackson, Ethan, wrestling Mr.
Boy, he wrestled a great match yesterday against McBurney. I mean, he wrestled very tough. The Lexos dude from North Canton won his first round.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that he had a great match last night against McBurney, man.
He had McBurney. Who did Demas have?
It was 7-4 going to the third period. Paxos was holding his own, man. I loved to see
Demos wrestled McBurney after that. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty Federal League bracket right there. There were 3 Federal League kids in that quarter.
It just tells you again, the quality of the Fed. Good wrestling. I know Perry gets all the love, but all the other schools definitely have kids there that perform and do well. So it's exciting.
Definitely.
Very exciting. Well, as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on board, like the Pope says, man, smash that like button. We got the chat up. You want to share a little thought, please do so. We love to interact with you, the fan out there. Always looking for your thoughts and ideas as we continue to grow this great opportunity. So, all right, guys, mat number 1. I'm looking over 1 minute on the clock. Round 2, Consolation underway as these young men trying to make their way down to the shot in Columbus next weekend.
And that's so important, too, that you mentioned. I won't ever coach a match in this round and not remind my kid 1 minute first period. Yep. Consies are always 1 minute first period. So it's so important that you don't have the same feel them out process. You have to get out there. You have to set your tone early. You got to try and get that first takedown and get this match going.
Is that Paxos?
On deck.
To be. Yeah, on deck.
Yeah, on deck.
Gilmore?
Is that Paxos and Gilmore, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That was a good one at Medina.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one at Medina.
This will be good.
Paxos has improved quite a bit, and I'll tell you what, Gilmore has too.
Time to shine.
Demas working that front headlock.
He likes that position there. He's got to keep himself off his knees, keep that good pressure.
And then over in his closer mat to us, that's more in front of you. You got Batcher. He's from Hudson, Ohio, versus Cody. It's Chris Fair from Mass.
Right.
Yeah,
that's Chris. Yeah, Cody. Remember, Cody had a great. Trying to think who he had in the quarters. That was another big quarters match. I mean,
Millen.
Oh yeah, Millen and Fair. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, right? Millen's on deck over here on 3.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
And Demos doing a nice job. I think our camera is focused there on mat number 1.
We got a little half and half going here, trying to get the best we can. Yeah.
All right, a little fitty. 2-0. Demos on top. Just about the end of the first period. Caution. And it goes to the top man. Jump the whistle there just a little bit. They'll reset.
He's tough on top. Look, he's looking for that roll through tilt right now.
Yep, got the
elbow.
Oh, short time. He wasn't going to force it there.
Nope. Time runs out.
He knows he's got that in his back pocket, though. He had that roll through tilt. He just didn't pull the trigger because he knew better than I did that it was short time in the period.
I don't know, Jamie. I know you had instinct. You knew it was there. Comes up real nice from the referee's position, up on his feet, trying to break through. Fitch wrestler. I believe that is Fitch, right?
Fitch, yeah. His name is,
Austin
yeah, I just looked at it.
That's
Gerthung.
That's Braden, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Fitch is always game opponents too, man, out of Youngstown and Austintown area.
Absolutely.
Don't ever go to Fitch High School and tell them that they're in Youngstown. They do not like that. That's got the same.
Oh, really?
You know, when you Maslin Jackson and Maslin Perry people, the Fitch people do not like it when you associate them with Youngstown. So you know me, I always extra emphasize that.
So you poke the bear.
Austintown Fitch. Oh, that's in Youngstown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, poke the bear a little bit.
Well, we're in Youngstown, and you'll see. I did it one year, and it was like the police officer at sectionals. We were at their sectional. The cop still looks right at me. He's like, "This is Austintown." Like all serious heart attack. Oh, there we go. He's got a nice little bar. Demas has got him.
They host that real good Hepner Memorial tournament down there in Youngstown. I mean, Austintown.
Ornery as they come, you guys. Ornery as they come.
And a great pickup for them to get the Mancini boys in that room now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I seen Coach Mancini this morning.
Great friend of Stark Media.
Yep. Dom come by, give us a little love. Always great to see him.
The little bar half. He might have it. There it is.
Oh, what's it? The Iron Eagle?
It's a bar half.
Arm bar and half. Again.
We were talking about that with the referees last night. That was a controversial call during the semis yesterday.
You and I, yeah.
Well, I talked to Logan, the official on that match, and it was blood. It wasn't that the bar went. He said that the bar went elite or went potentially dangerous as well. But he's like, there was a pile of blood, and the other ref. It was so loud in here, the other ref couldn't hear him. He's like, I got blood, and he's just counting away back points, and so they had to take the back points away because the match stopped as soon as he said that. That should have been stopped
before that.
Yeah, and that was an intense. And I told him, I said, I think you had the most controversial call I saw the whole day, and he was like, I had to make the call, but there was blood on that, and he didn't hear me.
Yeah,
I would have, as a coach in that situation, I would have probably thrown in the brick.
Yeah, TJ, where's my brick?
Yeah. No bricks, man.
Where's
no
the brick, man?
I don't know if I want to put a brick in either one of you two.
He doesn't know.
Oh, boy.
He already tossed.
So Gilmore in on a nice shot here. Paxos fending it off. Gilmore with the takedown.
Good pressure. Kept that head to the outside. Drove it across. Real nice. But again, Paxos, look at him move. Moving well.
This is what's fun. Like, I coached Paxos' dad. I wrestled against Gilmore's dad. Like, it's just there's kids all around that you have have relationships with, and
Sean Smith was speaking on that yesterday.
Oh yeah,
it's a cool thing. I mean, I think it does have a different impact.
It is. Yeah. It's different. North Canton it's actually a really cool time right now. Our football team's loaded with second generation athletes. Our wrestling team has 3 or 4.
Wow.
It's a really neat class. This junior and senior class.
That's cool.
And sophomores. The sophomores are super tough.
Well, and that's the thing, right? With our public schools, the ebb and flow of the highs, the lows, team development. You sit on top for a couple years, and you got to kind of reload, rebuild, if you will. Unlike some of our other, parochials possibly that are out, with the ability to bring,
Well,
kids
not all public schools have open enrollment, and that makes it a little different.
It's a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
that makes it very difficult to build a dynasty. You can have some good teams, but it's just very difficult when they have to buy a home in the area.
It's a game changer.
It's just tough.
Yeah,
you're spot on.
2 and 3.
5-point lead by Gilmore over there on that one.
And we got some of the big guys starting up already. Right in front of us, 215-pound weight class. And this is Ryan Zwick from Medina Highland. We talked about, or might be saying that wrong.
Matt too?
Yeah, right. And then that's Isaiah Moore from Firestone. Shout out to Isaiah Moore from Firestone and to his old coach, good friend of mine, Daniel Sandy, ex-North Akron Walsh Jesuit wrestler. We got a huge fan at the table giving us a shout out.
Oh yeah,
bringing us some
Mr.
love.
Scott Waxer.
Media.
Scott Waxer, tournament director there.
Semis are on 1 and 3. That's what I just verified.
All right.
1
and 3 it is. We'll do our very best to get you footage of those as we try to move our camera left to right. We're kind of at the mercy of placement, but that's all right.
Medina Highland just pulled him straight back, threw a boot in and had him.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Gilmore with the bar.
Oh, wow. Paxo's fighting hard. He got short time. See if he can get off his back here. There he goes. Way to fight. That's tough.
Yeah, Gilmore up 8-0 going into the third period. Boy, that would be an exciting one. I sure would like to see Gilmore make it out.
Yeah.
Or Paxos, obviously. There's multiple in every weight class that I want to see make it. The problem is there's only 4 spots.
Right.
Yeah. There's only 4 spots, and there's definitely more than 4 super good kids in every weight class.
Well, and that's the thing we talked about yesterday a little bit, right, guys? I mean, season ends here. Take a couple weeks, regroup. If you're not headed down to the shot, regroup, and get ready for a little club action. If you're not participating in a spring sport, good idea to find a club. Look into the Freestyle Greco USA Wrestling program. Prepare for a national. Prepare for our national team, right? Head out to Fargo, try to shoot for an All-American status. I know that we're going to be doing some in the room with some of our clubs as TJ pointed out. Chad Gilmore talking to us, coming up and looking at their Greco club. So specifically out of Shaker, they have a Greco club up there. So it's going to be exciting this spring.
Shout out to Isaiah Moore right now from Firestone. His one-man band fan club behind us. Bro.
Yeah, she's intense.
It's awesome. We're talking about
good stuff.
I'll tell you, it's only going to get crazier in here. I hope that the microphones do this gym justice when those semis matches
It'll be
start.
roaring. Yeah, no, you're right. Well, it's already getting
the tension
loaded
is,
up.
you can feel
tension
it.
building. Yeah, I mean, this boy from Firestone right now, he's supporting a comeback against.
Well, he got turned twice with that same little funky move. It wasn't like a Merkel. It was something.
It's like a pull the guy back and
from like a
Him,
headlock. It was strange.
Yeah,
I missed. I just saw it at the end of both of them. I didn't really see how he set it up, but it's working.
Is that what the discussion here is, guys? You know what the conference is that's happening?
Well, you know what? There was a scramble, and the Firestone kid got a takedown. I'm not sure if they were discussing whether it was 1 and 2 or a reversal because it happened so fast.
Right.
Gotcha.
Let's zero in on this one here.
No, good match, right? Again, as Johnny said, a little love to Akron Firestone, right?
Oh, much love to them. Coach Dan Sandy was there for years trying to, rejuvenate that program. I know he was just working as a teacher for a while, and then, he kind of took it on, solo in there. And, I used to swing by, try to help out when I could. And it's, anybody that's done it, and you're at a, program that needs work like that, it's a lot of work. Shout out back to XD Taco. They said something about Mat 3 action. Let's see what's going on over there on 3 with a double scoop there. We got both of them in the picture.
Oh, Millen and who's that?
Oh, yeah, that is Millen. That's wrestling at McNeill.
Yeah, from Glen Oak.
He's tough.
Federal League, yeah.
That's a tough matchup there.
Fed League action right here.
Gotta love it.
And like I said, when I said it yesterday when Sean Smith was sitting here, you don't get much more Perry Panthers than the Millen family. And when I said that yesterday, Sean smiled from ear to ear. That's a family that's been there forever. Multiple kids, multiple state placers. One played football for Kent. They're enormous. They're big people, the Millens.
Yep, absolutely.
Football wrestlers, man. Football players and wrestlers.
Now going into short time on mat number 3. 1-0 our score in favor of Millen. 17 seconds remaining.
I saw his dad over there when I was watching Alex's match.
Oh, okay. Well, and over on mat 2 here, 215-pound, Ryan Zewick from Medina Highland takes the 8-2 lead with short time left here in the match, about less than 10 seconds. And he has a cradle locked up on his Akron Firestone opponent, Isaiah Moore. Again, shout out to Isaiah Moore and the Firestone crew that's here cheering him on tonight. It's awesome.
Now again, some of these big boys you're seeing. This is wrapping up round 1 of the Consolations. Round 2, of course, is underway.
I see an old familiar face out there. I think he's helping out Firestone. Looks like Robert Schweda. His brother Alex wrestled with me at Walsh Jesuit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah,
I remember that name.
Yeah, he taught for years over at Firestone. I don't think he ever helped him out though in the room.
And again, guys, we are about 45 minutes away from our semifinals. So, guys, I'm just going to kind of run through here, throw out some names, and maybe here's some thoughts, as we look and prepare for the semifinals. So, James, at 106 pounds, we're going to see Seacrest from Brecksville and Green from Aurora.
That'll be a good one, right? Those are two highly ranked guys. I kind of see Seacrest pulling that one off, but they're all going to be wars at this point.
Now we're going to go to the lower half of the bracket there. We're going to see France from Wadsworth and McBurney from Maslin Perry.
I'll tell you that again, look at the teams here. We talked earlier. Brecksville, Wadsworth, Perry are going to be all over these semis.
No. And then we run into 113. I'll tell you what, again, I'm obviously assuming the Green brothers, right? Because in the top bracket, we have another Green from Aurora, and he'll be taking on Sharpley from Solon.
Yeah. Sharpley, we've covered a couple of times. He's very good.
Drop down to the lower half, Roca from Painesville Riverside, and our boy from Maslin Perry, Mason Rohr.
I can't wait to see Rohr. Rohr is a bad dude. He's just a freshman. The future's super bright for that one.
Absolutely. Boy, then we go right into the 120s. Jack DeBow from Mentor, and he'll have a Maslin Perry boy, Mr. Seibert.
Yeah, Seibert's wrestling up weight classes. He won sectionals, and he can make 6. He's tough as nails. I like DeBow in that one.
Going down the lower half of that bracket, we have Palmisano from Mayfield and Dinwiddie.
That'll be a war. That'll be a war, man. I like the Mayfield kid.
Grizzlies and Panthers start the 126-pound top at Mellon from North, and McBurney from Maslin Perry. Again, brothers at it, right?
McBurney looking to be one of the few 4-time state qualifiers coming out of today.
Awesome. Down low, we have Davis from Stowe Monroe Falls and Stropko from Menor.
Yeah, I don't think I saw those two guys go. The Stowe kid is 33-4. Stropko is 46-3. They're hammers. Obviously, they're tough kids.
Yeah, Stropko, I know, part of our USA program. Headed out to Fargo there. Yeah, great job. 132, we see. Oh yeah, the Wadsworth again. Champ. Yeah, Jack's Joy and D'Alessandro from Mayfield.
Hey, D'Alessandro is a very good wrestler. He's 37-3 coming into this weekend. It should be a good match. I'll tell you what, Joy, he's just so tough. He's like 6 foot. He's like a spider.
Yeah, absolutely. Lower half now we see Jet from Brecksville takes on Blackburn from Mentor.
I watched Jet. He's very good too. The Brecksville team is just so solid.
And we always talk about that drilling partner, that guy behind you. Go down to 138. Mentor again. Shelley takes on Giadas from Medina Highland.
Yeah, Medina Highland, that's the first one I think we've talked about in the semis. They have such a solid team.
Yes, absolutely. Down low, we're going to see Boots Van Dyke from Walsh Jesuit and Mr. Smith from Austin Fitch.
I'll tell you, Boots, another one, a returning state champ. And we saw it yesterday. We've covered Ducey. We've talked about it multiple times. He was definitely a class above him right there.
Yeah, awesome. On 144 from Nordonia, we'll have Petite. And he'll be wrestling Bizjack from, again, another Aurora wrestler.
Yep. They have
being represented.
Studs, man.
Absolutely.
They were in our sectionals last week.
Wow. Down low, Wadsworth brings Humphreys to the mat against Brecksville's Herman.
Herman's 38-1. Humphreys is 29-9. Should be a great match.
Wow. Again, the Grizzlies with the Cardinals, top of the bracket, 150 pounds. Kime from Wadsworth and Furnick from Mentor.
Yeah, that should shape up to be a good one as well.
Gonna down low, we'll find Giltz and Lovett out of the Federal League, Maslin Perry, and Beck from Mayfield, another Mayfield
I
wrestler.
sure like that Gills kid, man.
Yeah,
he's
solid.
so tough. He just goes hard the whole time. He's your stereotypical Perry kid that is just average in the room. He's not necessarily a returning 3-time state champ, but I'll tell you what, he's in your face for 6 minutes. I really like watching him wrestle.
Absolutely. 157, we're going to find that Nordonia's Perrine taking on Ernest from Wadsworth.
Yeah, both of those dudes are the real deal. Over 40 wins each guy. That's going to be a war.
And as you've said early, right, Wadsworth, Brecksville, those names, those teams that come out. Brecksville's Rizzo taking on Medina, Medina High School Supers.
And we do have the team scores up there. We'll touch on that when we get through this. I just noticed that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Outstanding. 165 pounds. Again, Menor goes to the mat with Mr. Horgan. And there's our boy out of the Federal League, Glen Oaks, Mr. Batson.
Yeah, Brandon's looking good, man. He's looking good.
Down low in that bracket again from Nordonia, Ridgely taking on the young man from Chardon, Basudik.
Yeah, that kid is kind of. I didn't see him coming. He beat Littner. He's tough as nails. That Littner kid's tough from Fitch. He's 42-4. He beat him in the quarters. So I look forward to see this Chardon kid wrestle in the semis.
At 175, Brecksville goes to the mat with Mr. Venadia. Luke wrestling there against Medina's Chrisman.
They don't get a whole lot tougher than the Venadia boys.
No, not a bit. Nordonia again goes to the mat in the lower half of that bracket, bringing Mr. Olsoko to the mat. Versus again, here's the Grizzlies, Mr. Schaefer.
We'll see how that one unfolds too. That looks like the Nordonia kid, Olsko, is he's 38-3. I mean, he's put together a great senior year. So we'll see if he's got enough to get through the semis here.
Now moving up to 190 pounds. Again, Aurora headed to the mat with Mr. Gorman versus the Bulldogs from Stowe Monroe Falls, Mr. Hill.
Yeah, he had the upset over Hartshorn.
Yes.
And he outworked a very tough kid in the quarters. So he's obviously a game opponent. He's going to show up.
It was interesting during our interview with Mr. Bourneval and Mr. Lowe. Josh pointed that out, that was one he did not expect.
Yeah,
did not expect that. Down low at that 190 bracket, we're going to have Mr. Grimm from Wadsworth. Again, headed over to the Pope's alma mater, Walsh Jesuit, Mr. Sherman.
Oh, I tell you what, that might be an eye opener for Sherman, man. That kid's tough, but Grimm's just a technical wrestler, Wadsworth guy. He's been trained, and that's gonna be a tough one for Sherman. I wish the best, though, of course, to my
to your alma mater.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, 215. Like to see Painesville Riverside, Mr. Bodigi, wrestling from Austin Town Fitch, Mr. Stancorp.
Yeah, I see the Riverside kid pulling that one off. He's 38-3. The Fitch guy seems like he's overachieving right now, which there's nothing wrong with that. Some dudes show up here,
right?
There are gamers that show up at tournaments like this.
Absolutely, like we always say, get to the playoffs. Anything can happen.
Right.
This is our playoffs, right?
Get your name on the line.
Absolutely. Down the lower half of that bracket, out of Stowe Monroe Falls, we'll have Mr. Gregory taking on Max Venadia again from Brecksville.
He's a hammer. He's a handful.
And, of course, the weight class
Here
I know
we
all of
go.
us have been waiting for, right? On that upper half of the bracket, we're going to see out of the Federal League from Maslin Perry, Mr. Faulkner, taking on from Maslin Jackson, Mr. Arnold.
Can't wait, man.
It's
Crosstown
so
showdown. Yeah. Two big guys just duking it out. And this is a match we've been waiting for and anticipating. So
2 weeks, right? We
I
all
think
said 2 weeks.
I would have to say that I think Aiden's wrestling ability compared to Arnold's heavyweight ability is going to be the difference in that one. But I'll tell you what, I'd like to see these semis, all four of these guys be the guys that go.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
it's a great
same
point.
here, yeah.
Great point. Down below on the lower half again, number 1 be number 3, at least the way they're ranked as it sits today. Andrews from Barberton and Reese from Wadsworth.
Yeah, maybe the toughest weight class here to win. Maybe not the toughest to get out, but you have the top 3 kids in the state of Ohio right here in the semis at 285.
Absolutely.
No, not just those guys. I mean, as we saw yesterday with some of those opponents that I don't think, none of us ever seen or heard of before were making the weight class look even tougher. I mean, those kids were performing high level. You see that kid that where was he from? He was a freshman was he Dover?
Oh, from
Brecksville. No, the
Brecksville?
Brecksville freshman. Yeah. I mean that kid was fire. He's gonna have a good tournament. So I mean it's. Oh yeah. Get a little rub and tug from the El Prez.
I don't know.
I'm sure
I don't know
about
if that's what that
tug
was.
parts, but yeah.
So
Yeah.
we see the team scores up there. It looks like
What do we got, boss?
Wadsworth is well. Let's start at the bottom here. We'll talk about the top three. We got Maslin Perry with 74.5 points, Brecksville with 89, and Wadsworth leading the tournament with 104.5. And I'll tell you what, this is that little spot where those teams are going to be frozen for a few minutes while we go through these consi matches.
Yeah.
And then when the semis start, that's where the ground can be made up. We have to look. I wish we covered that before we went through the semis to see where they matched up, where Perry is matched up with Wadsworth and Brecksville, because it's strategic how Maslin Perry and Brecksville were at the same sectional last week.
Right.
So they're going to be opposite bracketed in a lot of these. So will Brecksville and Perry knock off enough Wadsworth dudes to put them in position to take the lead in this thing?
Great
and the
point.
semis is really where you figure out who wins the tournament.
Tournaments are won or lost at the semifinals.
Absolutely.
I mean that's where the ground is made and the clay is laid, if you will. And I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, all three of those teams, as you look to next week to go down to Columbus, it's not like back in the day. You got to if you're going to make a run at the top three spots at the state, right, and a state title as a team using the individual format versus the team duels, if you will. You got to take some boys. I mean, St. Ed's is, every year perennial coming down with, 8, 9, 10 guys, you got to bring down a crew if you're going to make a run at a state placement.
If you want to win a state title, you got to get more than 10. You got to
Isn't
get
that
10
crazy?
More. You got to get 10 more.
We took my senior year. We took 10 down, and Graham still upset us.
You have, and like you said, the semis are super important. What else is important is bonus points. You got to, if you get a chance to get a pin or get that major decision or the tech fall, you got to push for bonus. The other thing that's super important, not only the semis wins, but the guys who don't make it to the semis, they have to win matches in the consies. You got to have guys win through those consi rounds. Everybody needs to contribute. If you get 10 guys that go, but only like 3 of them go 2 and out, you may as well not even have 10 guys there.
Right.
Everybody has to contribute to the cause if you're going to win a state title or a district title for that matter.
Well, of course, as we look towards next week, obviously St. Ed's, your favorite right now, Perrysburg. Now, from what I understand, talking with Josh Lowe and Mr. Bourneval, a young man, Butler, was beat, I guess, by Ed's. There's some things that could happen up in that district that could flush out to some results next week, Right. So, again, I haven't really looked at the other districts, see what we're going to have.
Are Perrysburg and Ed's at the same district?
That I don't know, boss.
I would find that hard to believe. That would be hard to believe, but I'd like to, for our teams here, I'd like to see them cancel each other out a little bit.
Right. So it'll be exciting. We'll be down at the Schottenstein Center next week in Columbus on the campus of the Ohio State University. Very familiar with that. In fact, guys, I just want you to know there's going to be a urinal that's going to be dedicated to the Bostic family due to the fact that I had 5 of my kids as students down at Ohio State.
Oh, nice. That's what you get?
Wow. I tried for a water fountain. Best I could get was a urinal.
I'll be sure to use that.
All right, please do.
Make sure it's not super high.
Oh, no. You know us, James. Come on, brother. We're of the same vertical ilk. Right, and no, it'll definitely be that low one.
There we go. Those
like
are my favorite.
Elementary school ones.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure we'll go that far, Jay, but definitely have some charm in there. The soft, good 3-ply. So but no, it'll be a blast headed down to Columbus. As always, good to see my kids. Spring break is going to be starting down there next. Actually, the weekend of the tournament. That Friday is when Ohio State spring break starts. So
okay.
It'll be exciting.
That is cool.
Good stuff.
I can't wait.
Looking forward to it. I can't. I'm kind of really anticipating just the ride down. I can't imagine the conversations that are going to be had.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine you with the ride down. I mean, did they let you sit in a car or you pull a little trailer?
Last time they had me stand in the back of the truck bed.
Is that what it was?
Way down Carrollton.
Yeah, they had to wear your seatbelt too, I suppose.
I don't think there was one back there for me. I still felt safe though.
Did you?
Knowing that TJ was
Okay.
in control.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, again, great consolation round at number 2. Of course, these young men will have to run one extra round before they even meet the consolation, the semifinal loser, right, James, for the blood round in our consi semi. Boy, that's going to be the round, huh?
Yeah,
that blood round.
This round puts them into the consi quarters. They have to, like you said, they have to win one more to get that guy who's dropping out of the semis, which is a crazy round because, we just went through and looked at all the semis guys. These guys are putting records up that are, 45-3, 45-6. One of those guys has to lose, right?
You know what?
And that is such an intense, you want to talk about hallway conversations. When those kids lose in the semis, they have about an hour to get over it, and then you got a guy who might be on a 3-match winning streak getting ready for you, and that's when it gets really intense.
Well, I was just going to say, I feel like this is like the pre-blood round for these consolation guys, but this is a round that I always felt like you could take advantage of as a wrestler. You could catch somebody on their heels kind of because this kind, when they say a high school football team or college football team, they say they sometimes they make the mistake of looking past their next opponent.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that happens in this round right now.
Yeah.
People start looking past it because they're looking at blood round, options and matchups, and they start doing all that thinking. And the next thing you know, your match is up. And
the next thing you know, you're in the third period and you're down by 3, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then
but
your preparation takes over.
This is a very, what I want to say, underestimated round.
Right,
I feel
absolutely.
where a lot of guys could mentally get an edge on somebody, I think, easily.
Well, guys, how many times have you seen 2? And again, I just, always going back to that mental side of our sport, and that semifinal for that guy that loses that semifinal match, as Jamie has said, can't release, can't let it go. And before you know it, now they're the 6th place miss out to get in for 3rd and 4th to go. The alternate position, we talked about how important alternate fill-ins happen. They happen all the time. Things happen. You might have the shot. But those guys lose that semifinal match, and it's almost if they shut down. And before you know it, 2 more losses, and they're preparing for next year.
That's where you see some really good kids fall as they get upset or they lose to another super good kid in the semis. And then all of a sudden they got a dude that's hot as all get out.
Yep.
That's been winning all weekend. Once he lost in the first, yesterday.
Hey,
he's been winning all day today.
The cousin bros are shouting out to Jamie saying, "What's up, Jamie?" Me, Tyson.
What up?
Yep, that's in the chat at the moment.
Yeah, we appreciate those that jump on the chat and interact and share. Definitely shout out to all you folks. Hit the like button. Let us know, like the Pope says, man, give it a smash. Smash the like.
Share that link too.
Yeah.
Put it on your Facebook or your Instagram. Say, hey.
Spread the word, baby. Spread the word. Got number 2 here, Pope. I see one of your Walsh Jesuit Warriors out there.
Warriors on a warpath, man. They really are. This past 2 rounds, starting to do some gut checks that are
Matt won too.
Not welcoming, but yeah, we got a couple going on at the same time right now. It's Zach Gregan. He's a sophomore there at Walsh Jesuit up against Brett Stanley, Brexfield Jr., and he already got the early lead.
Stanley's tough.
Yeah.
It's 113, huh? Let's see here.
Well, guys, as you know, none of this happens without our great sponsors. And I'll tell you what, this morning I had another first. I got to say, I had the Lindseys breakfast pizza. Amazing. Now, the only thing I would say, liked it. You're still eating it.
I'm on my 4th slice.
Good, man. I love to have some jalapenos on that bad boy, but it was absolutely amazing.
Good,
Lindseys Pizza, shout out. You need to get a pie tonight, man, for dinner, lunch. Located in the Hillside Shopping Center, 2827 Whipple Avenue in Canton. Call them, 330-477-3800 or online at lindseys.pizza.com. Again, open till 11 o'clock tonight. Pizza, chicken, sub, salads, calzones, and boy, I'll tell you, the famous breakfast pizza. Thank you, Lindseys. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was. That's going to be – I hid a piece away in that box.
You hid a piece?
Yeah.
For later?
For later, yeah.
Yeah, I found it.
No carbs for Jamie.
Yeah, no, Jamie's doing well. That's like I say, guys. I mean, I went through that big burn. Man. You guys are gonna, not Jamie. Jamie's been great. I've been a knucklehead. I'm gonna have to go back on my burn program.
That pizza broke me today, man. I definitely knocked myself out of ketosis with as many slices I had. But hey, it still had a lot of keto-friendly elements and all that cheese and veggies.
Those are keto-friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that
nice
sausage. Yeah, that was.
Another one of our sponsors. Want to give a shout out to finallyhereohio.com.
Oh, yeah.
That's Chris McCready's and his team. Over 30 years of experience. If you have someone that struggles with hearing, and that probably should be me, I might have to give those guys a call. Want to hit their website at finallyhereohio.com. Get a free hearing evaluation. Call them at 330-492-1212 or stop down. They're located at 1201 30th Street Northwest in Canton. And if you stop in, make sure that the Stark media team said, hey, we're here because of you.
That's right.
Mat number 3, guys, I see another Federal League, Uniontown Lake. Young man from Lake High School.
Thanks for that station identification, Jim. You always do those really well, man. And we got that Stanley up right now on Mat 2 from Brecksville 4-0. Like Jamie said, he's a hammer.
He is. He's running those cross-face cradles. Look, he's got the ride, that back ankle ride. He's looking for that.
Dang.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Look, he wants that cross-face cradle so bad. He's got it. Oh, he lost it. But he's been close a couple times. Yeah, that's Whitaker over there from Uniontown Lake, a senior. Wrestling Kennedy from Aurora.
0-0 there, 30 seconds. A little caution, a little jump of the whistle. Another little restart on Mat number 3.
These go a little bit faster because of that 1 minute first period.
Absolutely.
But still, some barn burners.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, something maybe here just real quick like to do as we prepare for the semifinals. We've been on air now this whole season, wrapping up the folk style season next week at the Shot down in Columbus. How about just a real quick, little vitae, little bio, little taste of, your guys' journey, right? I mean, Jamie, how about you first? Just kind of share a little bit about, all your journey through our sport and how you ended up behind the mic.
Well, I obviously my big brother was a wrestler. He's 14 years older than me, so I was thrown around the living room my entire life, and I had my diapers changed on wrestling mats here at this school. Like maybe not this school, but this school district.
Right.
But, I started wrestling when I was like 5 years old. I was a 4-year wrestler in North Canton in high school. I was a one-time state qualifier. I did it both ways at districts. I was in the semis my junior year and didn't make it. I lost day one my senior year and wrestled the whole way back and made it. You never know how the path takes you. Wrestled at the University of Findlay, and then I coached for 25 years here, and then all of a sudden here we are, just some friends talking wrestling on the microphone. That's essentially my story.
Well, you also though did a lot of coaching, right? I mean, my goodness, you coached at all levels for the most part.
Youth, middle school, and high school. Almost every year I was God bless my wife. I was at a wrestling tournament every weekend the whole time. Every weekend, no matter what. It didn't matter what age group. I was there to coach kids.
Wow. And it shows everywhere we go that Jamie gets some love from somebody either in the stands, walking across, coaches, referees. So definitely bringing
anywhere in public in North Canton.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting for the statue to be put up, right?
Keep waiting.
No, it's coming. I don't know. This could turn that. Johnny, how about you, brother? A little bit of the journey for yourself.
Started out Tim Secor.
Yeah,
he was my first coach over at Glen Oak Youth Wrestling, and dude inspired me, man. I wasn't really sure about it, just like a lot of people, aren't probably their first time, and got roped into it through the Tom Wiseman, his father, and the Secor family, and then next thing you know, I'm staying, after practice in youth practice room for 2 hours with somebody and just drilling, and I wanted to catch everybody. And then end up at North Akron with Bill Barger's program up there. And then that led me over to Walsh Jesuit.
Okay.
And had a few good runs up there. We won some state titles there as a team, state dual championships as a team. I was, able to be part of that and contribute a little bit. Took a fifth in the second place at the state tournament. Then ended up going to college at VMI, Virginia Militant Institute. That's in Lexington, Virginia.
Okay.
Did some D1 wrestling there. Then ended up helping out as like a coach slash wrestler, NAI college, Campbellsville University.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Outstanding.
Yep. And that's in South Central Kentucky. It's NAI wrestling. And,
hey, it's wrestling. I don't care if it's right. It don't matter. D1, D3, NAI. Yeah, there's some different, but that's awesome.
Yeah. And stuck around and got my official assistant head coach job at St. Andrews University. After that, we were Division II NCAA. That was down in Laurinburg, North Carolina.
Okay.
And I coached that program for about 4 years with Joe Baranek, and started having some more kids and stuff, and make some life changes. And it's like, man, I can't. As a college coach, you have no life. Like Jamie said, praise God, his wife for him. Weekends away just as a youth and middle school coach.
Right.
But yeah, college level, I was going out recruiting every weekend. During the week I'm, running practices on the horn. Yeah, he never had a life at all. If it's a family man, it's a really tough balance. Plus I was teaching, down there in the public school system as a 9th grade English teacher at Scotland County High School. So that was a real tough axe to swing every day, but still made it happen. And then came back up and helped out with some wrestling, local, programs, where I could. I mentioned how, Firestone, I went up there, helped out, old teammate. I used to, just kind of hop around anywhere. So, somebody would, know that I was back home. They would, hit me up and say, hey, do you mind swinging by for a practice or two? We got some guys that need some help, man. And I go and, I didn't put the shoes on, roll around with some kids. And, yeah, I think that's the beauty of our sport, though. We always talk about, it's moments like that that makes it. And shout out to
war over here.
Walsh Judgment Wrestler with the overtime victory. Win. And anyway, I got the call from TJ. Told me a little bit about Stark Media. I had already known a lot about Stark Media because I knew I would follow Stark Media on.
You and TJ have been friends for some time,
right? Yeah. So me and the Matador go back to Taft School.
Yeah. Here we go.
2 Taft kids and a microphone.
Yeah, that's right. 2 Taft kids and a microphone.
Boots and deuce.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Anyway, but that's how the party got started, and I met Jim for the first time up at the Ironman. Well, I won't say the first time. I think we probably
crossed paths
a bazillion times.
No.
Yeah,
right.
But anyway, that was our first, as adults meeting.
As responsible people,
we count that.
But yeah, and then Jamie, I've kind of crossed paths with.
Same thing.
Yeah, a couple hundred times or so, but. Yeah, but anyway, no, it's just cool to be, to get here, be here. I mean, when I first got that, or had that conversation with, TJ about, the wrestling part and everything, I really had no understanding of how it was going to be covered or, what exactly it entailed. And I'm glad we're doing the way we're doing it, and I'm loving every moment of it. I love you guys, man. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be part of this.
I know. I heard the first broadcast, and I had to be a part of it. I reached out. I had to. I had to
true
be.
Story.
I had to be a part of it.
Yeah, he forced his way in.
I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. I have no qualms about what I did.
Yeah, I'm glad too. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to make your own. You got to make your own.
Got to make your path, baby. That's right.
Jamie Fausnight, Stark New Media. Forcible entry.
Right.
Jeez. I tell you, you're worse than the Three Stooges, right? The 3 J's.
Yeah.
J cubed.
Oh man, I never even. Dang.
Did you just figure that out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It's been that way all year.
J to the 3rd power.
J to the 3rd power. Yeah, a little bit like you guys. I mean, I remember coming home in 8th grade, 1976, right? Walked in and said, hey, Dad, I think I want to wrestle. Knew nothing about wrestling. Nothing. I don't even know. I have no idea why. And no shit. First thing my dad said to me is, "You want to wrestle the girls or what?" I'm like, no, Dad. No, I want to try to wrestle, right? So, wrestled. Wrestled 8th grade year. We didn't have that was pretty much back in the day. That's where it started. At least at Norton, it started in 8th grade. We really didn't have a youth program, nothing like that back then. All through high school, just hard worker. No real accolades. Did a little bit of noise at the Medina tournament, a couple things. Sections was my kiss of death. I still can always Buddy Klein, Barberton, senior year. He was a senior. I still watch my hands separating in overtime to not be able to take at least a step into this tournament. But went to Akron Youth. Wanted to walk on. And a lot of unachieved goals as I learned a little bit more about the sport. And that was the year in '81 that they dropped the program due to Title IX restrictions. And from there, walked back into the room at Norton to coach all through my college years. Was a coach over there and then got into education. First year teaching over at Wadsworth. Jumped in with Coach Gramuglia over there. Was with him as one of his assistants. Went back to Norton the year after that. Was assistant, then took over their program for about 7 years. Got into administration, stepped away for a bit, just, married, kids. And then when the boys became old enough, Josh was in kindergarten, Justin, he was a preschooler, and then walked into the room over at Jackson into their youth program and was there for almost 17 years between their youth program and coached the middle school program.
That's when we really got to know each other.
Correct. That's when you and I really became friends and tight. Of course, I knew Tommy. Yeah. Tommy and I, back in the day, knew of Tommy. Of course, wrestled Tommy, but nope. And then like you guys, man, I mean, TJ was given this. Tim Arnold, really the guy that broke this concept with Art Media. And TJ, we like to tell the story, I don't know nothing about wrestling. Tim says, what if I bring you some guys that do? And the rest is history, right? J cubed, J to the third power. Here we sit, man. Here we sit. And this is just the beginning, right, guys? Just starting, just exciting, and we'll see where it goes.
It's just starting to get romantic, man.
You always got to go to the bedroom, don't you, Pope?
Always.
You're scaring me, brother. You're scaring me.
Still early. I'm on cup number 1, coffee.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we have a lot of Federal League guys coming up, man. We got Great House. We got Lake McKinley over there. We got Perry over here. We got Bostic about to come up here on 2. We got Geckler right here against the Glen Oak kid. Pasek is back there in the back room. We got Federal League kids, Stark County kids all over the place right now.
Love that, man. Federal League does a great job at this thing every year. Every year, the Federal League's kicking out kids to that state tournament, and it's a lot of them taking each other out to get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Case in point, right in front of us.
Right in front of us.
Glen Oak versus Perry. We got Geckler and Lou.
Lou's tough, man.
Geckler's tough too.
He had that toe-to-toe match. Was it him and Bostic that?
It might have been, yeah.
Bostic ended up catching him at the end.
Yeah, at the very end.
But
guys, I'm looking at the clock. 13 minutes, and the semifinals are going to be coming up.
Now the bout board, the red numbers are consies, the bout numbers. When they turn black, it'll be the semis will be on the board.
And I think James did announce, right, match 1 and 3 is where we're going to find the semifinals.
Which will be difficult for us to air. We'll do the best we can. Yeah.
Wait, the semi start at 11?
Around there.
Okay. All right.
They haven't gone on the board yet.
I've been telling people noon. I got to send out a lot of text messages.
Let's see here if we can make an adjustment.
Bear with us just a minute. We're going to try something here. James going to.
Where's TJ? Because he might know how to adjust this.
Yeah, I got you. It's this one right here, Jamie.
I'd go with legs. We're going to try to elevate the camera here. Maybe we can get it above the coach's head to be able to give you a little bit better view of the semifinal action. And this is something you are not going to want to miss.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Let's see if that gives us.
Got two short guys trying to make something tall.
Ooh, I like that. That's not bad. No, let's try. That's mat number 1. Why don't you flip over to 3, James?
Oh, that's better.
I think that really does.
Think that could do it? We could go up a little bit more if you want.
I think that's max.
No, that's max. No, we got this one here though.
Oh boy, we need to make sure that we can keep it on the table though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Good
wait till
job.
TJ comes back
This
and
is,
sees this.
This is
We got to keep it on.
Let's
the
go to
table.
your way.
Here you go. Yep.
All right,
Proud
folks.
moment.
If you guys are watching
Let me
us
see.
right now,
Proud.
wait a minute, we're angled. Somebody's got to straighten their leg up.
Proud.
This is super close.
Well, here we got. You gotta bring it that way. So, yep. You gotta watch that
Whoa, cord.
that far leg.
Watch
Yeah.
the cord. I don't like, like that. We need to bring it down a little bit.
All right.
That's too close. That's cutting it too close.
Right there.
Here's the man.
TJ.
DJ's arrived.
Got us.
Don't ask what we're doing, okay?
We're trying to make sure.
Wasn't my idea, man.
Oh, look at the Pope throwing us under the bus, James. It wasn't my
to
idea.
get over the coaches. I like it better.
Never want to fly too close to the sun.
And you to bail, right when the boss shows up. I mean, seriously. Come
Let's do it.
Here we go. Alex Bosky here.
All right, yeah. Bosky's just electric to
And I'll
watch.
tell you,
if you haven't seen this kid wrestle, watch
This
this match.
DeFazio kid is tough as nails.
Yeah.
He's beaten him like multiple times in the last couple weeks.
Oh yeah, he looks like
Handily.
nails, man. Yeah.
But 0-0 first period. We're just in the second. Alex needs to get one of his big moves here, and we can't have that.
No.
No, you talked about this Dover kid, Jamie.
He's
earlier.
good. Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is Bosky
No, he
at his
lost the
finest.
arm.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
It
Love
cost him
watching
two
him
to get
wrestle.
to, though. It cost him two
Stuff
to
like
get
that.
to.
Cost him two to get to, but you know what? He's comfortable in those positions, which most
This
kids
is
aren't.
where he can't be.
And it's usually him we are seeing deliver that tilt he was working with the elbow. Yeah, that's more of a.
There's where he's
Boston
dangerous.
tilt.
If he gets to the crackdown, is where he gets really tough.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that kid's strong as a bull.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Super
They're out.
sweet.
Out of
Wow.
bounds.
One escape. That's a good call.
Good call. Yeah, that's fair. Fair call.
48 seconds to go in the second. It's 3-2.
Well, again, for those of you out there listening, if you have an interest in sponsoring or becoming one of the advertisers for Stark Media Wrestling or any of our Stark Media platforms, just reach out to Stark Media via email.
Yeah.
You can also reach out to Tim Arnold. Tim kind of coordinates our advertising and sponsorship platforms.
There you go. Nice.
Oh,
There's
Bosky with a nice
I
shot.
think he got
man.
so deep it caught him off guard. He took a knee to a chest
Yeah.
there almost.
He
Yeah, he
did,
did.
yeah.
This quarter Nelson, this dude has, or that is filthy.
Gosh. That was filthy, man. A lot of strength behind that.
Game, son.
Yeah. he manned up for the occasion with that. That was great. Well, it's great leg defense. I don't know if it was intended, but
One turn here puts Bosky right back in it. Let's see if he can get to that cross wrist and hit a roll through tilt of his own.
yeah, he can. I've seen him do it many times to many
Needs to get
opponents. Yeah.
Needs to get control of something. Here's where he's good. He can hit it there.
Yeah,
He's got to get that cross wrist.
Oh, look where he's going. Oh man.
It's just a little outmanned here.
Yeah.
5-2 your score. We're in the third period here. Again, our second round of consolations. These wrestlers, as Jamie pointed out, will head to the consolation
There.
quarterfinals.
Find something. Find something.
When I coached college wrestling, we had a 125-pounder, a Virginia Beach kid, downtown Eric Brown, man. And he used to let guys take him down just so he could get on bottom. So he hit the Peterson.
Yeah. I take a team to that Granby camp, and you really see them eat that stuff up, man.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, They give up 2 to get 5.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And Boski's one of those kids, man. They sent him to Granby camp, and Coach Gamble is the Granby camp guy from back in the day, so he knows all that stuff.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that, though. Yeah, because Bostic gives me that vibe, man. Every time he's out there.
Needs to get to his high crotch, get to that crackdown, and pull one off here.
Yep. Yeah, he can. He got the time still.
He's got a nice fireman's too, and
he's trying to keep that elbow. Yeah, the kid knows.
DeFazio's
blocking that off.
Really doing a good job of fighting him off and staying aggressive.
Oh, nice.
There's
shot.
the crackdown.
Love it. DeFazio knows.
Yeah, again, he knows I give up that 2. It's 6'4". He's got to get 2 takedowns within 20 seconds. It can be done, but it's a big ask.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, he missed it.
Yep.
But here's where he's going for it. He's looking for it.
He's fishing for it. Yeah, he had that hand out there. I saw it.
And that'll be a wrap on Alex Boski's junior season.
I think you're right.
Be an exciting senior year for Alex Boski, man.
Oh, you got plenty of time to get ready now.
That's right.
Plenty of time.
Well done. Well, guys.
Good for, DeFazio, man. He's a tough kid. He's more than deserving to move on.
Tough kid, yeah. We've seen him a few times.
Concy Corner.
Yeah.
Concy Quarters setting it
there
up.
we go.
Setting it up.
We got another big matchup here then.
Well, again, while we have a second as we get ready for the semifinals, again, well anticipated, we'll shout out to our sponsors from the Eagles FOE number 190. Eagles FOE 190 located in downtown Massillon at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. Anytime, give them a call, 330-832-7385. They're open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Sundays, they cut the hours just a bit, 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. You can visit them on their website at eagles190.com. Again, proud to say that one of our bosses there, old TJ Downing, is an Eagle and very proud to be so. So again, one reason why those guys last year donated over $100,000 to local charities.
That's awesome, man. Love seeing that happen. Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, there he is in the house.
My proxy.
Hey, Tim, put that on there just for a second. We were talking about our sponsors.
Yeah.
While we have you here, again, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, kind of our director of operations. Again, the guy that we tribute this whole platform, this whole wrestling, experience happening, Mr. Tim Arnold with us today. Tim, your son, the Big C, the Colt man, we're in the semifinals. How you doing?
I stopped for breakfast mimosas this morning.
Mimosas. Doubles? Doubles or triples?
Well, we had a couple.
Breakfast of champions.
All good, man. I was listening to you guys earlier talking about how this got started in the basement and, all that jazz, and how 9 weeks ago we were talking, having that meeting for the first time.
Like Duck Dynasty.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, you brought this to fruition. You made the request 2 weeks prior to season starting.
Yeah.
And it got put together. So we just can't say enough and thank you enough for the idea, the concept. You always jump on with us. But I'll tell you what, I was telling Johnny, we were shouting out some of our sponsors. Things like this don't happen unless you have sponsors. I know that, you are instrumental, obviously, with the Hilscher-Clarke Electric Company, getting them on board as one of our premier sponsors. If somebody has and wants to be a sponsor or advertise with Stark Media, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, all you got to do is get a hold of me. We've got a nice little platform, sponsor sheet. We come out, TJ and I sit down, and we fit and tailor kind of what your needs are and what we're able to do for you. Hilscher-Clarke gave us a 3-year commitment. So,
oh, my.
Yeah, so we got that for 3 years solid.
It's not just, us reading script here, and off and on. I mean, TJ, the company itself, have the ability to actually produce, commercials.
Absolutely.
If you will. Is that correct?
Yep. So that's what we're getting ready to do for Hilscher-Clarke is we're going to change this up, because they were so generous to us.
Yeah.
We're going to do a residential to spotlight our residential services, our commercial, our industrial. We've got a couple different divisions inside of Hilscher-Clarke. So one of the things that we're doing is Hall of Fame is big.
Oh, yeah.
And then the car charging stations for these guys that are going out and buying these new electric cars.
Okay.
We're able to come into your house, and we have the EVB chargers that we can install and we can hook up
Wow.
inside your garage.
No kidding.
that's
I did not know
awesome.
that.
Yep, that's part of our residential service. Generac, we're partnered with
That's
Generac.
huge.
So if you need a generator on your house,
Yeah.
we can come out and redo all of your electrical for that also.
I know a
Okay.
lot of people that I can send that
Down
way.
there in them Carrollton
Yeah.
boys.
Oh, yeah. yeah. Jenkins.
Yep, exactly.
Carroll, Tucky, baby.
Yeah.
Huh?
So starting next month, TJ and I we're going to get together with our residential team, and we're going to go out and do some commercials. So that way, once we get this website launched, we can be broadcasting it out that way, throwing in commercials. So we're not able just to talk about it here. You're able to see it also.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Outstanding. So again, some great sponsors this year. Obviously, Lindseys Pizza, McNeill and Sons, the Eagles, FOE, right? Boy, I tell you what. Obviously, Save 22, the Leathernecks Motorcycle Nation Motorcycle Club.
Let me interject right
yeah,
there.
please
So,
jump, brother.
The Save 22 started by Tom Endorf, Carrollton Wrestling dad, there for a little while. They used to do this hike down in Carrollton, about 5 miles, whatnot. Well, this year, for the first time ever, they're doing it in downtown Massillon at the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the staging is going to be, and that's where we're going to get started. And yep. So that's what we're going to do down there.
You're right.
Got
some fans showing up.
Yeah. So Save 22 be down there, starting in Massillon at the hike.
Well, that's awesome though. Have those kind of events for the community, get them involved.
Absolutely,
being part of something bigger than what you are.
Funny story about the Leathernecks thing is. So as most of you know, I'm a member of the Leathernecks Nation Motorcycle Club.
Right.
We had our Halloween party coming up, and I was like, man, I want to get this word spread. I want to get this out. TJ says, hey man, tell you what, I'll make you a deal. This is what I want. This is what I'll give you. And I was like, I'm in. So we write the check, right?
Okay.
I don't cut a commercial for the Halloween party in time for TJ to announce it that Friday night football game.
All right.
The injury report sponsored by.
Right.
If football doesn't hurt you, we will.
Wait a minute. That was the tagline?
That was the tagline.
If football don't hurt, we will.
The very next morning, I had church, and I show up, and I'm like, here's the deal.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
if football doesn't break you, we will. Let's not go with that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, as much as we love you guys, and we may need you someday, and we don't know, in this crazy nation right now. But wow,
that's awesome.
Amazing. Now, Tim, we can't say enough about Save 22, and you guys stuff obviously, of our servicemen and women for what you do and have done for each, and you guys are so humble. I mean, I look at you as heroes. My goodness, those that have given the ultimate sacrifice, if you will, but all of you, and you're all heroes to us.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Along with our sponsors, Chris McCready is from finallyhereohio.com. Just sat down next to me, so I'd like to give him this for a minute or so, and you guys talk to him.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Great.
Outstanding. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this now from again one of our sponsors finally
Canton at 1201 30th Street. We offer free hearing tests, and we fit and test people's ears and provide and fit hearing aids for them.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a great business for me, and it's exciting.
Oh, and we're blessed to have you as one of our sponsors. We want to thank you for that. For your patronage of Stark Media, and definitely a lot of shout outs. Now, I got a question. I got to ask this because I'm probably going to have to make an appointment with you guys, right? I mean, but ringing in the ears, brother, yes. I am telling you, this frequency I've had, I can't even tell you when it started, and I've tried the pills. I've tried chiropractic. I've tried red light lasers with tuning forks. I mean, I'm out there. anything for us cats that have some of that going on?
Thin layer of foil under your pillowcase.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a big problem for a lot of people. And the good news is the hearing aids, there's not a real good cure for it. Just like you said, you've tried a lot of different things.
Yes, sir.
Unless it's caused by certain medicines or certain blood pressure medicines, that they know of. But other than that, the hearing aids, the beautiful part about hearing aids is that it just masks that out. So it's still there, but you don't know it's there. It's a great little thing. Just mask that out, and you put them on, and you're like, where'd that go? And most people tell me it's completely gone. Other tells me it's greatly eliminated or greatly reduced.
Wow.
Now, one question.
That's cool. I didn't know they could do that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm going to be having a point, Chris. So next week I'll be making an appointment to come down and see you.
Wonderful.
But my only question with that
yeah.
is, once you go to bed, you take your hearing aids out. Is it something where just through time maybe that goes away, or do in the evening does that high frequency come back? Or
correct? No. Yes, you do need to have the hearing aids in. I do even have people that will sleep with them just for that reason.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
But the long-term studies now are if we keep wearing them, we'll end up reducing it so you can wear them at night and it not bothering you.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good thing when you mask out that sound. It just helps to really eliminate that, or greatly reduce.
There's like
that.
a noise reduction technology.
Oh yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yep.
Wow.
You put them on, and hearing aids are taking external sounds, and that ringing is internal. So it just masks it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Very cool.
Now,
and then there's hearing aid actual maskers for if someone doesn't have a hearing loss, we can actually just mask.
Now, Chris, too, I've heard, I don't know if this is true. You can share this, obviously. Our hearing aids now with Bluetooth, i.e., pick up your phone rings. I can answer the phone or whatever. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
It goes right through those phones, right in. And some people like that technology. Other people don't. And some people don't respond real good to the technology because, if there's connection issues and stuff like that. So someone like you, yeah. Some of my older people, they don't really want to worry about that Bluetooth stuff. Hearing aids now, they're all pretty automatic. We can put a phone right up to the ear, talk clear as day, without pushing the buttons and stuff like that too. So it just depends on the needs.
Understood. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest with us right now, sponsor from Finally Here, Ohio, Mr. Chris McCready's, located at 1201 30th Street, Northwest in Canton. And again, this has been outstanding. Chris, the future, I mean, you guys always down there, you're looking for new things. I'm sure you're at a lot of professional development, a lot of technologies that are out there. Anything on the horizon that you're seeing that you can kind of share or?
Yeah, absolutely. The speed of the computer chips inside the hearing aids, as they get faster and faster, we get them clearer and clearer. So we get less background noise. We can actually now where we're separating every frequency individually of each other. So we get a lot less background noise, a lot more clarity. And it's an exciting time in the hearing aid field.
Awesome. Well, I know my pops, he's had them for a while, pro, con, some good, some bad. And obviously I've talked sharing with you. Definitely I am going to get an appointment with you, come down. Cause that ringing is something it's time to stop it,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
If you have any, ladies and gentlemen, any issues out there, anything, Chris is the guy to get a hold of. Make sure you can get on their website, finallyhereohio.com. You can call them 330-492-1212. So again, Chris, we thank you taking time out of your day, joining us. Thanks for having Faulkner and Arnold, baby. Let's go. Get it on, right?
Let's get it.
Got the purple on, man. He's ready.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Look, I brought mine too.
Yes.
For match time, yeah.
There's a couple other guys I'm rooting for too from some other schools, some friends and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is exciting. It's an exciting time for wrestling.
Have it right here in our backyard.
Area, right? So we all kind of know each other. We're neighboring schools, so this is great.
Absolutely.
Good luck to all the athletes out here.
Thank you.
Sweet, thank you.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, from Finally Here, Ohio, Chris McCready. And I'll tell you what, exclusive report, little breaking news, Mr. Pope.
You actually
and of course, he takes off the headgear right during the breaking news.
Chris letting us know that was his first time on the radio. He did
was a
great.
Virgin.
Yeah.
Radio Virgin or Radio Virgin.
Radio
huh?
Virgin.
That could be another song.
Wow.
We got song titles all over, dude. We got to start writing the
That-
Boots and Deuce.
See, I think the
Radio
Radio
Virgin.
Virgin, that's more hip hop.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That
Or-
could be a
well,
little funk.
It
you
could
know.
be a little, yeah.
Well,
Soul
absolutely.
music. Ray McDonald
I'm
style.
not sure about soul with Radio Virgin.
Maybe
you know.
run it by Ray McDonald.
Run it by Ray?
Yeah,
Alright, I
get
like
some
it.
lyrics down.
All
Open
right.
up at the finals at the Top Gun to it.
Okay. I love it. I
which
love
he's
it.
done in the past before.
Well, as soon as Jamie gets his headgear on, we have a little breaking news, a little 411 here for Stark Media. So,
What's going
guys,
on, fellas?
well, I'll tell you what, you probably found this out already, but was told semis moved to mats 2 and 3.
Yeah,
Huh?
you complain to the right
Knuckle
people.
up, baby. Knuckle
you
up.
complain to the right people.
Yep.
We got
we
a
are
couple
on
North
board.
Canton kids up right now. Christian Friel's got a 4-point lead in the third over here. AJ Dolph's knotted up at 2 over here. He gave up the first takedown right out of the gate and got 2 escapes.
Oh, wow.
So it's 2-2.
2-2 for AJ. That's over
So-
there on what